Now danger zone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's up, everybody? It's 80s night tonight. Hope everybody's doing good. We don't know that many 80s riffs, but we thought it'd be funny to do 80s night because we found out that like Sean's doing like some 80s riffs for the next Rev Time video.
Yeah, and then
today,
we did a shred video this week that'll come out, and we were like, you know what? I think that's just what's, you know, all like the real bright graphics and stuff. We're like, this is just what's going on right now.
Yeah.
This is what's happening.
So my only contribution was like, well, I don't know how to play the solo from Top Gun. I'm like, that's all I know how to do.
And then we worked it out like right before this.
Yeah.
Great.
And what's up, Kyle? It absolutely is Kyle's night. Like 80s night is 100% Kyle's deal.
That's what I think of Kyle with the Aviators.
Yeah. Like
cruising down the Florida coast.
Playing a bunch of Rat and whatever else. Yeah.
Totally.
So I wish I could play some Rat. Honestly, like, I mean, I'm an 80s kid, but I grew up on, like, Guns N' Roses and Poison and, totally. Skid Row and Motley Crue. And honestly, I didn't learn enough covers as a kid, so, like, you know, trying to figure out, like, what we should do, I was like...
It's kind of like an ode to what you grew up on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, hey, Bo, we should invest...
What's up, dude?
Yes.
What did he say?
We should have dressed more glamour.
Oh, yeah. Well, we need you for the next one here, bud.
Yeah, dude, we should have, except I don't own any clothes that would make me look glam rock, which I
think Bo has like a leopard print jacket I've seen pictures of.
Man, he's, yeah.
Yeah, you could fit the part.
Yeah.
Love the guitars. Yeah, I had to bring out the Kramer. I think this one was set up, both the Kramers were set up fairly recently, and this actually feels great. Like every time I pick up this guitar, it's like a rock. I think this still sounds good.
I know, and mine is Uber 80s in a black Tremonti.
Yeah.
Like the anti-80s guitar, but sounded super fat, like
the 80s killing guitar.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I remember we were going through like what pedals we were going to use here today, and just scrolling through like looking for just like the oldest, most beat things ever, and you're like, oh, you're gonna use the Dan Electro chorus, and I'm just thinking it's gonna be like, oh, whatever, and it legitimately sounds unreal.
Dude, that thing is so good.
Exactly like that.
Like. Yeah. Did any of you guys out there, did you ever play any of the like old Dan Electro, like the Fab Tone or the Daddy-O or the Cool Cat?
That's what it is the Cool Cat chorus.
Yeah. It's awesome. And you can often pick them up for like 30 maybe like $35.
Yeah. No, Kyle was asking. No, Derek was using the Strymon, but here, just quickly, just so you can hear. We'll get more into it after, but just this is the Dan Electro. Like legitimately sounds insanely good.
Yeah.
That's not 80s, is it?
Oh, I don't know. Probably 70s or 80s, right?
Yeah, that chorus tone to me is like still one of my favorite sounds. Just super chorused out, big, verbed out, cleans.
Yeah, man. Like it's funny. Like I spent probably like the last hour like stressing over how to figure out how to get my Mobius to get me either a chorus / flanger tone or a phaser. And like Sam puts the Cool Cat on his board with like the Phase 90,
the EVH Phase 90 and the Echoplex, and the tube screamer that looks like it got run through a dishwasher.
and and like everything is right there and like working.
Yeah.
Mine's like I'm using the Juliana setting.
It's funny how the top end on that is so responsive, eh? Like as soon as you into the neck. On the phase.
do not understand why. Like my first pedal I got, I don't even know if the first pedal I got was the like DoD Hard Rock Distortion, or if it was the Stereo Chorus. Like I have both of them here, but I don't remember which one it was. They are both
right here.
They're both pretty terrible. The chorus is better than the Hard Rock Distortion. The Distortion is.
I think we tried this one. You got this one. You found this because you wanted.
Yeah, I wanted
thing
like
that you had when you started with, and this one I don't think works. But this.
No, that thing works. Remember, we were playing that through the G20, and we were like,
"Oh, right!
Holy crap!"
It sounds like I play in like a stoner band or something.
Yeah,
yeah.
What? It has a delay in it, doesn't it? Like, what distortion pedal has a built-in delay?
Yeah, I don't know, man. This thing.
Yeah,
the DoD Hard Rock Distortion.
I know that's the only one, and it's the best.
Yeah, and this thing sounds great actually. The stereo chorus sounds really cool. DoD stereo chorus. I remember, we talked about that once. We were thinking of doing something where we got tried to find something similar to like our first rig.
Yeah,
I remember you found those online, and
yeah. And as soon as we figure out how to set up to like mic cabinets and stuff in here efficiently, we'll do a live stream where we do that, because I have pretty much everything with the exception of like some off-brand amplifier that didn't really work, was what I had for my first amp, and then I got I'm pretty sure after that I got a Fender Princeton Chorus.
Yeah,
I either had that or a Marshall Valve State. I can't really remember because I had them both.
The Valve States when I started playing were killing it. Like a lot of people had
Yeah.
those. It was like for the guys who like sometimes jammed with a band and didn't just play.
Yeah.
You'd have like the bigger Marshall Valve State 212 combo.
Dude, I had the 112 combo, and it was absolutely the worst. Like the absolute worst sounding amp. Hey TJ, what's up, man? TJ's a killer.
Oh, TJ, dude, what's
killer guitar tech, and like
the Kramer Magic Sam's eyes. Dude, my eyes are like a black hole. This thing's bright. Yeah.
TJ all the way over from the city that rhymes with fun.
Yeah. I don't know where he's at right now, though, because last I heard from Carl. So backstory. TJ here, we've worked together on a few gigs, but TJ text. I don't know if he still does text for Jess Moskaluk, who Carl, one of our production guys, plays bass for. And he said you were in Dubai doing some sort of crazy gig with Kiss, which is unreal. So, and then we ran into each other. Aaron actually knew TJ as being like the guy to go to in Regina before I started playing with intervals, and then we realized there was a connection there, and Kiss had an off day in Tampa the same night we were there. So TJ came out to our show and we all got to hang out in Tampa.
That's awesome.
And it was cool. Yeah, that was a good night.
He had I gave it to my brother, but I had an 80s gunmetal blue Stratocaster, which is one of the best Strats I've ever played. Mm-hmm. And I really hate Fender's lacquer, like I don't even know what it's called, like whatever the lacquer is on the back of Fender necks. So I asked your dad, so sorry Bruce if you're watching, I asked your dad if he would like strip the lacquer, and he said no, because of the fact that it'll it's such a pain in the ass with the fretboard, right? Because it's lacquered. It's a single piece neck, right?
Over it, yeah.
So
yeah, he wouldn't
TJ stripped all of it, refretted it, I believe with stainless steel frets.
Yeah, you told me about this.
And reset it up and send it back to me, and it is just unbelievable. And my brother has a bunch of sentimental value with that guitar, so I sent it over to live with him, and I'm sad because my other Strat that I have is nothing close to that.
Yeah,
but
I heard you told me that story. That's awesome.
Yeah,
I think Intervals had a similar story where they had a bass that was destroyed, and TJ in a day just fixed it and made the show happen. So nice, clutch. Yeah, good to see you, dude.
So props to TJ.
Absolutely. Oh, did Chuck Schuldner actually use that? That would make sense. I guess like Death is like a band like that where it's kind of like Pantera, where it's like out of context that tone would be horrible. But it works so good. Like, I don't know. What?
It doesn't ever work.
Oh no! No.
Like
okay.
So
okay.
Yeah.
Question. Should it stand for anything? Is it short for? That would be more of a Dan question. I think Dan has talked about that a bit.
Yeah, it's actually Dan and I are both Christians, and like my brother Scott, who co-owns the company with Dan and I as a pastor, and Dan actually named it after Revelations 5 from the Bible. I can't really tell you anything more about it because Dan was the one who named the company, but I know that's the origin of the name. So It doesn't mean revolution or revenge, but it was really awesome as we're doing marketing stuff in the beginning to be you know,
sounds
doing the
metal.
like join the revolution and like
or just
revolutionize your tone.
I think a lot of
stuff
people
like that.
think rev like an engine too, like a machine. So there's like a lot of different ways that people have perceived it.
Yeah.
which is cool because they'll hear it and think of it how they will. You know?
We could do all sorts of lame stuff in the beginning, like rev it up and
Yeah,
you know.
exactly. We're looking for taglines.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like the easiest marketing taglines ever that later on in life you're like, oh, that wasn't cool. We're not that cool.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
Sweet. Yep.
Yeah, so so we were trying to learn some like little 80s riffs, and we're gonna butcher any of the ones that we do tonight for you. So
And again, we like really tried to go over top with the tones on purpose.
Yes.
because that was
yeah,
what was
like,
fun about that. But I
was
think
like,
we're all missing.
I was trying to find the like
I was thinking of like Living on a Prayer when I
I wish I could play it properly. That's the best you're gonna get out of me. Yeah, it's in there.
this guitar feels like it should have that sound.
Yeah.
What's that?
Exactly what we were talking about, like
With
before
Crazy
we started
Train,
the stream. Yeah,
you play way
We're-
faster than it is.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Every time I was telling Sam that like every time I play Crazy Train, it's like off to the races as hard and as fast as I can because I keep thinking it's faster than it is. Like
The metalcore song.
yeah,
If Trivium wrote Crazy Train.
and then I burn out and fade away after like like
Yep.
there's no way like by the time you get to the
Phaser is so wild.
so bad.
Yeah. Yeah, I think, like, for me, like, I was not alive in the 80s. So we'll get that out of the way right away. So I'm kind of posing for this video. But I think for me, like, you know, Van Halen was obviously, like, a big one. Like, my dad is, as you know, obviously, and anyone who knows my dad is, like, a career musician and tech. And from a very early age, he was getting me introduced to guitar music. And it's funny that we played More Than a Feeling, because that was actually, I think that's 70s. But that was actually, like, the first song I ever kind of learned. I don't know if I could play it properly as a kid, but whatever it was. It's funny, first song I learned, now I don't remember it.
Like yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah, it's
But
like-
I remember... Yeah.
Somewhere in there.
But I remember that and Extreme was a big one. Mr. Big actually was a big one too, but I guess that was like early 90s kind of.
Dude, the only thing
Or
that
Racer X would have been 80s.
yeah.
but yeah.
I was gonna say, Mr. Big, I'm like ashamed to admit that the only song I know is "To Be With You," and I don't know how to
Oh,
play it,
dude,
but like,
what?
I know.
How are you such a? I mean, very different like styles, but like, how are you such a Van Halen fan and you haven't listened to Paul Gilbert just fucking rip?
You know what, dude? I remember when I first started watching YouTube to try to learn how to play anything on guitar. Would have been like probably mid 2000s, like late 2000s, and I was like trying to learn like Paul Gilbert's like like 3-note per string like type pentatonic runs and stuff, and it's
yeah. Oh man, some of the Mr. Big stuff, like the Lean Into It album, it was that, and it's funny because I was like a 6-year-old kid listening to Porno Graffiti.
yeah.
But like musically, like, you know, those were definitely a few of the albums, and yeah, like Van Halen, obviously. Like the fucking like the Hot for Teacher thing that I just threw together, but just like hearing tapping, because like I love doing lots of like, it's a lot of fucking reverb. I don't want that. Play lots of those like kind of skippy licks.
Yeah.
And like learning Hot for Teacher, or like trying to, is like, man, this dude doing that stuff back then was like, as a kid, I was like, oh yeah, Eddie Van Halen, like knew it as a big name, but like going back as an adult and listening to it, it's like, man, dude was seriously the guy
best.
for sure. Let's see if I can actually remember. Okay, let's see if I can remember it. No, then it goes to what is it now? Something
Dude,
like that.
you're like bouncing back and forth between it and Cathedral at the same time,
Oh,
which
really?
is awesome. Yeah.
I didn't even remember.
Like, yeah, like, I you know what, I just don't have the, I don't know if it's like dexterity or what you call it to, like, I didn't really learn. The only tapping, two-hand tapping riffs, like I learned like every kid just to do like,
With the eruption.
I never actually even learned eruption. I just learned like the idea of doing like, oh my limbs,
Right.
like that idea, which I still can't do. Like,
It's funny because when you think about it, it's tough. Like when you don't, and it becomes more of a muscle memory thing.
yeah, and I
Yeah.
screw up my timing on it all the time, and I realized that like I'm never gonna write music that actually uses that. So
Yeah,
but
it's fun.
I mean, you do all the time with all like you do tons of clean tapping.
Clean tapping
Shit.
stuff and all that stuff, and it was funny because like as a kid, like being introduced. Sorry, I realize that's probably me making all that noise, or is that yours? I
Probably me.
probably as a kid, like hearing that and thinking it was cool, and then like later on in life learning a lot of that style and realizing that it was like one of the first things that I was introduced to.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool. Yeah.
I didn't get into like Van Halen and like really crazy good guitar playing music until, or like virtuoso level guitar playing music till honestly like well out of the 80s, right?
Yeah.
Honestly, like probably later 90s.
Yeah.
In the 80s, I was way more into like or whatever.
I haven't heard you like actually shred like that, and I've read that you can.
Yeah. I hit like way too many wrong notes.
Whatever.
So
More tone.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
man.
Sorry, Adrian was saying Daddy, Brother, Lover, Little Boy, and Addicted to That Rush. Those were like actually the two first Mr. Big songs that I remember hearing, just because it was the Lean Into It album. Actually, it was the Greatest Hits album, so it might have even been like chronologically in order. So that's funny. That's where they brought out like the drills with the picks. I don't even know if they had picks on them or something, but
That was my favorite thing. Like, my favorite Van Halen song, probably to this day, is still "Pound Cake." That has the drill at the beginning.
yeah.
Yeah. Do you know "Pound Cake"? Or?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, this is the thing is like I had to think about it for a second. Not like the back of my hand like you do.
Yeah.
But
I don't know how to play it properly. Like I know it's like it's in there somewhere. It is.
yeah.
Some sort of harmonics. Like,
yeah.
yeah. Some
Yeah.
sort of like.
No, that's
Yeah.
that's the Stone Temple Pilots one.
Oh yeah.
Oh, Dean DeLeo does that all the time. Yeah, that was cool. Yeah, touring with those dudes was wild. It's funny we were talking about that last time with dudes like that. We were talking about like we do videos like how you can boost your tone, like how you can do whatever. It's like Dean DeLeo literally has a third amp as his boost. Like it just turns on and that's
Nice.
it. It's awesome.
Well, I mean, it's crazy some of the tricks that like those guys do, and like I've been trying to buy like the ADA MP1 and like a bunch of kind of the older like 80s like rack preamps or effects, but
That's
It's-
literally what he was using.
yeah,
Yeah.
Every time
Yeah.
I go to buy something, somebody like steals it for like, you know, like there was one guy who had one here local for like $250 Canadian, and it was gone in like a day. And I'm like, damn it.
There are people that just like sit and wait for those things.
This is a bunch of crap I don't need, but I want.
Yeah, I want to just have it for what it
Never
is.
gonna be able to use it. So
Yeah. How many things in here are like
What's that?
Said how many things in here are like that?
Like most of the guitars.
His dad's mine. Oh, Lonnie. Said Lonnie because
Ronnie is the king of dad
Ronnie.
licks, man.
But like super fast dad
Yeah,
licks.
like
That are way better than actual dad licks.
Like the fastest I can play Crazy Train is like Ronnie when he's like
On slow mode.
Yeah, half. He's got like 3 broken fingers. And Yeah.
I feel like anything like as soon as you throw chorus on it.
Yeah. That reminds me of like Adam Sandler, like wedding singer style, like like 80s. Yeah, man. Oh, sorry, we're I'm horrible at telling people like smash that like button for us.
Thanks, Robbie.
Yeah.
The like button. Like button helps people see the video. Yeah, chorus was something I definitely like. I think I've always had an appreciation for, and I guess maybe it was from like learning guitar on those learning guitar and like learning music as a kid with lots of tones like that. But there's something about that to me that just sounds so like sparkly and nice and like crisp and just big. Like where the big sword.
You know, it's funny, like I've said this before on live stream, like I never used modulation effects when I was playing leads when I played in a band, ever.
Yeah.
Like, to me, and I never boosted my amp either. It was just like, oh, does it have a third channel that has more gain? Okay, I'm going to go to that for the lead.
That's the lead boost.
That's what I'm going to do.
Yeah,
And
same.
it wasn't until, like, after, I was at the Dallas Guitar Show. This is embarrassing. And probably, like, 2016. When I first put a pedal, like a delay pedal, into the loop of one of our amps, because Dan was like, I went to hook it up. He's like, "Are you gonna put that in front?" I'm like, "Where else does it go?" Like, he's like in the effects loop, and I'm like, I've never used the effects loop.
I will say I was the same way at first too. Like when I got my first pedal rig, it literally was just like everything into the front. That's just how it's gonna sound. Great. But yeah, no, like running. I like running choruses and stuff in front. Still on my end, I guess. I like how it just kind of colors the front of the guitar, or like the signal like that, like in front of everything. Like I almost feel like putting it like I don't have it set up this way, but sometimes just putting it at the end of the chain and just giving everything like a huge chorus on it sounds cool.
Yeah, that's how I've always used choruses. Are like. And honestly, most of the time I don't use it. Most of the time I'll still just opt for a delay. Maybe a bit of reverb, but... Keith, nice to see you, man. Hope you're doing well. Keith from 5 Watt World, he's done a couple videos with some of our stuff, but if you guys haven't checked out Keith's channel, you guys got to go over and subscribe to 5 Watt World. Yeah, great videos, great tones, and all around great dude, so...
Recently gaining great appreciation for life for land. Yeah, totally. Yeah, and I guess that's another thing just from putting this little rig together and like doing like I feel like a lot of those tones don't get used anymore now. For whatever reason, some sort of 80s music in like electronic music, but like not a lot of guitar music that's using flangers and stuff like that right now. Such a cool sound. Like when it's like you're saying, like when it's kind of like a longer, more gradual, like textured sound. I kind of like that with phasers too, just really like long phasers just to kind of give it like a little bit of an edge when it's shifting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I haven't...
Yeah, the verb just goes, eh?
Yeah. That all sounds really good. It's like the most basic rig. Like,
honestly, yeah. Like, and this is all in front, which is very contrary to what we just said. Like, I'm just running the delay and verb in front. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe that was what... made it sound like what it did.
Yeah. You know way more 80s riffs than I do, and I'm...
Because I play in a cover band sometimes.
Yeah.
What was it? The neck bend on it.
Nice.
That's way too much for him. I feel like that's just.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah, but like I don't know, I miss those tones. Like I can't say I miss them because I wasn't born then. But I feel like like a lot of those just really big, spaced out, modular tones are kind of like slept on now.
Oh, definitely. I mean, everything's gotten like tighter and tighter and tighter. And I mean, there's delay, but delay I find is less. I mean, people still use it for leads, but I find it's more used as like part of actual composition now. Do you know what I mean?
Totally.
Like
it's
rather
like it
than
fills out space.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
So-
not as much a focal point of like the tone as much as just like the whole overall sound. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Like when I play guitar at church, like I find that like when I'm going to learn a bunch of the like newer like contemporary worship music stuff, it's crazy because like if you watch some of these guys actually play it, they're layering so many delay pedals and stuff together that like they're picking like a quarter of what I think they are.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? 'Cause
Exactly.
It's just, and I'm like, what? I'm like, that's how you play that? I'm like, oh yeah.
It's
If
all the texture. It's
Yeah.
all the sound of the space. And I mean obviously like pedals like the Strymons and stuff make that possible in the format that they are. Like those I think that's the other thing is those types of effects have become so much more like practical that they serve more of that type of like purpose.
Yeah.
Whereas with this before, it was literally just like, here's your stomp box with whatever, or you have just like a big stupid rack of a ton of stuff.
Oh yeah.
The
Yamaha. If Sean's around, Sean's got so much experience with the with all of the kind of like 80s rack stuff. It's crazy talking to him about.
Yeah. I guess, yeah.
Like he had a full huge rack system with a tri-axis and like some Mesa power amps and that back in the day. It was crazy. He was, essentially driving around with like a fridge full of rack gear.
Man.
And
Yeah.
there's actually a video you can find from, is it like LA Sound maybe, of Sean showing off like a Bradshaw rig that's just bonkers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah. The days of like touring with semi trucks of just like rack gear, stuff like that. It's crazy. But again, how different it sounded. Like in a digital world where everything is so compact and like similar because people are using a lot of the same kind of platforms to build with.
Yep.
Whereas before you had to assemble everything as you wanted it into like this big massive thing, and I think that's why the sound translated like that, because there's like so many components going into this sound.
I remember watching video of like U2 and like watching the Edge's rig and like it's
man.
like
And now he's got like 4 Axe effects or
yeah,
something.
exactly.
like
Like he had like these two massive. There's Sean. Yes, he had a tower of a rack. So,
yes,
Yes.
There it is.
and knew how to use it, right? Like
Yeah. Oh,
that's
yeah.
the big thing. Like if I
Absolutely.
got something like that, literally I would do the same thing that I've done with my Strymon pedal, which is like, that patch sounds good. I'm going to use that for the rest of my life. So this is a really
This
great
pedal has
reverb.
MIDI capability and storing and everything, but I like that sound.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like I'm actually uber jealous of your rig right now because it sounds so awesome, and there's nothing to it. And I'm like, I got all this stuff here,
Yep.
and like I know it'll do way more. Like
Yeah. But again, I think that's a testament to what those sounds were. It's like just smaller, like more basic components built towards like a bigger sound. And just having
Yeah.
stomp boxes. Man, I want this chorus. Like I'm actually like so stoked on how good that sounds. But like even on riffs that I would play now, that still sounds like it still sounds fucking sweet.
you can't have it. I have
Can't have it.
Yeah, I still have it here. The Dan Echo delay pedal that's from that series. So that when those pedals came out, there was the Fab Tone distortion pedal, the Daddy-O overdrive, and the Cool Cat chorus that came out. And man, I have all three of those. And then a year or two later, they came out with the Dan Echo. The Dan Echo is still one of my favorite delay pedals. Like
this whole series of their pedals.
Dude, I used to use a Fab Tone. When I first started playing in a band, my drive sound was a Fender 410 DeVille with a Dan Electro Fab Tone. It was not great. I will admit that. But I sure thought it was.
Rex was just asking what it was. It's a Dan Electro Cool Cat, like a super old Dan Electro chorus. And it. Also, I just saw that the king of 80s rock and dad rock has entered the thread.
Exactly. Rob Baker has joined us. I wish he was here.
God, I love the Kramer.
Hey, Rob, tell me how wrong I'm playing Nothing But a Good Time. Oh, yeah.
Well, that's real loud first. The phasers so... there you go.
Now wait for Rob to scold me about everything I did wrong. I'm pretty sure Rob knows every Poison song, known to man, every Rat song. Pretty much every song from the 80s. If it's 80s dad rock, Rob knows all of it.
And he plays it better than
man, I still absolutely listen to Play It an Octave Higher. Oh, yeah.
Is that actually they did?
That's terrible.
Really?
I think he's right. He can't resist that.
That's the only one we'll get today.
I can't do it with the face on.
Oh man. Oh, big delay on it.
That's awesome.
That's so dumb. Yeah, the phase 90 immediately makes everything.
Yeah, I prefer the sound of your.
Yeah.
I prefer the sound of your face. To the one like.
I'm sure that's it.
I don't know how to play that.
It's a cool riff, actually.
Yeah, I will 100% to admit to being the king of learning the opening riff to songs and then being like, cool.
I know the opening song. Yeah.
Except Doreen was playing Mr. Brownstone and I was super jealous because I'm like, there's no way I'm gonna figure it out.
Ram the action on the Kramer. Yeah. We don't have the bar for it.
Yeah.
Do we have anything in here? We got, I guess, the Wolfgangs, but none of them have the
none of them have their bars on.
I guess the Schecter does.
Yeah,
that's about it.
It's not truly 80s night then.
You don't use that though.
No. No, the bar? I only have it to annoy Sean, so I can get it out if you like.
That's awesome.
If I could just throw the guitar horrifically out of tune to annoy you or Sean while we're going.
I was talking a little bit earlier. I know they're not like an 80s band per se, but one of my favorite kind of glam rock or alt rock, glam metal guitar players was Nuno with Extreme. And Extreme, I remember Porno Graffiti. I think Get the Funk Out, at the beginning where he's just comping on the high string. I figured out that that's what he was doing. And that was like the first song that I actually recognized on guitar. Like, oh, I can make this sound. I want to do more of this. This is cool. So like, I will actually say that album is what got me playing guitar. But same thing as going back and listening to like Van Halen, where you go back and it's like, as a kid, I did not comprehend how good this is. Like, like Nuno plays with so much feel. It's that Porno Graffiti riff is still my favorite. I forget what it is. It's like he goes. Like kind of like a funk riff almost, you know, like even though it's like so groovy and cool.
Literally the only extreme I ever learned I was playing 3v4. I only learned that
wholehearted,
which is way too heavy. Like I've got way too much distortion for it. But I realized something when you were playing with that, or playing with yourself.
Oh, great! That's what we're doing here.
So, the best '80s riff, my favorite '80s riff.
Where's Kyle?
And then it's got that like.
That's a huge riff.
Rob Baker will love me for that. Mm-hmm. Like
he also said, "Chorus section to get the funk out is crazy." That whole song, dude, the solo in that song is wild. So
yeah.
What was it? The Eclipse. Yeah. Getting one of those.
Bonus points for the Kramer.
Yeah, dude.
Everybody likes the Kramer. We should see. You know what? I'm gonna.
You have the other one.
Yeah, I'm gonna grab the other one and see how it sounds.
Derek does have 2 of the Kramers, and I think one of them was that when you're.
This is my first guitar.
Yeah, which is really sweet actually. It's way sicker than my first guitar. Actually, no, I had a pretty sick. It was like a Mexican Duosonic with 2 single coils, but I was just playing clean at that time. You know, worked pretty good. If ever want to be in a grunge band, it'll be great. I'm just gonna fuck around with more chorus tones here.
Good, because this is horrifically out of tune, so. Not looking too good for it to stay in tune, but we'll see.
The exact same chords as the last song we did.
Yeah, exactly.
Literally.
Yeah. No wonder I love Kickstart My Heart. It actually plays like your dad did a great job of setting this up, and it like.
Yeah, it feels good.
It's a little buzzy now, but that's because we keep leaving the humidifier off in here because it's.
Well, we'll be out of that season soon enough.
Exactly.
We have 2 seasons here: summer and cracking guitar season.
Yeah, summer and balls.
Friggin' dry.
Cold as balls. Oh, you put your...
That's such a cool riff, man. Fuck.
Oh. No, I was like...
Oh. It's okay, it's jazz now. That's what they call it.
Yeah, I'm just taking pages out of Sean's book, and it's just some outside playing.
Yeah, exactly. Is that the fucking...
That's my rig being super nice.
That's awesome.
Questions for Sean? Yeah.
We gotta get Sean on
Story
one of these.
time with Sean needs to happen.
Yeah, so Sean can school all of us on both knowledge and guitar.
What did he say? I'm thinking about an H9 for a while.
Isn't that what you have
but a
right
wife
there?
called... Yeah, so I have an H9 here. And luckily for me, I work for a company that builds amps, so my wife doesn't say anything about the gear that I buy because I say it's for work. So,
and she's watching.
Exactly. And it's for work. See, Heidi? I used it. That's what makes that noise. See? Turn that off. Dude, I don't even know. Where's that shimmer thing?
That was a good one. Yeah, there you go.
We had this awesome, like, over-the-top 80s clean sound using the H9 before, and then I looked at it, and it
disappeared.
stopped.
Like, you literally didn't even touch it.
What happened?
Like,
I didn't do anything. It sounded so good, and then it was gone. It was just teasing me right before.
It was kind of like a verb that kind of bloomed into like an octave sound.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the what was that Nunavut pedal that was really hot for a while? The Nunavut wet reverb, I think it was. It was just the shimmer, I guess it was. Where yeah, that's basically what it was the reverb decay would shift into like the higher octave, almost like a Pog, I guess, but with verb on it. Yeah, but yeah, that was. Do it again.
Yeah,
Like,
please.
You can't make it work.
Oh,
There it is. Yeah. Oh, there you go. See, you didn't even touch it again. You just started doing it.
it was just way hotter before.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how
It has one big button and
I have
not
no
more
idea how
small
any of this
buttons.
works.
I can work with more small buttons. I can't work with one big button.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. That sounds so much.
Sorry.
Back to
Ruining everybody's night.
Back to Boston.
Yeah. So did we figure out, was that actually 70s or 80s? It's probably 70s,
that has
right?
to be 70s, yeah. Boston's first album. I'm gonna go with like mid 70s on that one. I don't know. The same thing. Like I just had like, so as a kid I had Boston Greatest Hits, Mr. Big Greatest Hits, Aerosmith Greatest Hits. So I just had like all the, I don't know. I just knew them.
So what did you learn from Aerosmith?
Yeah, I guess, yeah, like, Aerosmith was, like, for me, Steve Tyler was kind of just, like, a cool frontman as a kid, like, it was just the personality.
Yeah,
I guess that was, like, I like Aerosmith and they're a great band, but I think musically I definitely took more from the other bands that I had spoken about, but I think for that, yeah, Steve Tyler was, like, the frontman guy, and that kind of gave me a sense of just, like, the personality of that era of music, which is really cool. And also that he has a huge mouth. So,
Nice.
yeah, I thought that was funny as a kid.
Boston in the 70s. Sorry, Robert. Sorry that we don't know everything that you know about.
Yeah, Boston was 75
whatever.
or 76.
Yeah.
That's what I thought it was. And I think I also read that, I don't know if this is true or not, so definitely don't quote me on it. But like the song Foreplay,
Yeah, like
Into
Long
a
Time. Yeah.
that allegedly was like the first thing that Tom Schultz ever decided to like write on keys. And he just wrote that solo. It's just like,
Nice.
yeah, that's wild. Like,
What is the speaker cab setup? We are using the Torpedo embedded outputs on both of the amps, so that's, why you're not hearing like a cabinet whenever we're talking, and why you can like definitely hear string noise even when we play. Like, unless Alex mutes my mic fast enough.
I think they put a gate on it actually.
And you mute it, don't you? Or just the gate? You're just shaking your head yes to everything I say.
I do sound buttons.
Yeah, that's right. So, can you guys run a Rockman into the front of the ref?
Oh,
I don't
dude.
have a Rockman. I wish.
It was like a little solid state thing, wasn't it? Is that what he used? Like Tom Schultz, didn't he create that? It was. I think he also created his own. Like Rob, you would know better than I would. Didn't he like create his own little solid state amp? It was the Rockman, is what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he actually. I don't know if it was like a preamp or like a solid.
I was gonna
state
say.
amp.
I thought I remember seeing Rockman on a preamp, but I don't know.
But I'm pretty sure he made it just because he wanted that sound. He's just one of those dudes. Just kind of like does everything.
Just has to fiddle around with
has
everything.
to tinker with it. I think he was an engineer, like some sort of mechanical engineer before. I don't know. Again, don't quote me. I remember kind of briefly reading about Boston and thinking that I read that. So we'll see if it's
Nice.
Yeah, the Rockman was the first headphone amp. There you go.
Sorry, Johnny, I didn't finish answering you. It is the Torpedo embedded out, so there is no cabinet in the room, and we are running the preset with the 4x12. I don't think is there reverb on? Is there reverb on? Like,
not on the first one, no.
Like
the second one has it, but
nope. Yeah. Yeah.
That's all you're hearing for the next week.
Yeah. That's all I'm gonna play for the rest of my life.
No more pick scripts. It's just that.
I'm getting ready for whenever Robert Baker and I meet again at NAMM. We'll have a guitar duel that he will handily whoop my ass in playing Van Halen legs.
Yeah.
So.
Oh man, being around people and being in NAMM, it's a great time. Hopefully next year.
Oh, the Kramer. It's over. Sorry, I can't do it anymore.
Is that your like bend into the? Is that your bend into the A?
It totally is, and like, yeah.
This will do it. Is this blocked?
I don't know. Your dad set it up, so.
It's definitely not floating. I don't think he put those wood shims in. Maybe he did.
Might have.
Maybe.
Whitesnake was awesome. I don't know any, but.
Oh, Iron Maiden, yeah, that was 80s. I guess Metallica would be 80s too, man. Like in their heyday. I don't even know why I didn't go to that, because that was like total intro to heavy music, Megadeth, Metallica, all that stuff.
Frank, can you load the 2 notes cabs into the amp? Absolutely.
Yep.
So the first 6 presets on the virtual cabinet selector will be your first 6 presets that you save in Torpedo Remote. And beyond that, you can recall up to 128 presets via MIDI. So
in case you feel like using 128 cabinets in your set.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. You want to change like every time you step on the pedal, you can.
Molly Crew. Someone said Molly Crew. Oh, what was the other one? Sounds like Hot for Teacher. What was the one I did earlier?
You were playing Livewire before.
Livewire. That's what it was. Yeah. Now I'm gonna be obsessed with that.
That's my favorite, like, older Molly Crew tune.
Yeah, that's a cool riff.
It needs to be like.
Yeah, someone else saying, I keep reading that, like, yeah, Slayer, Megadeth. I wasn't a big Slayer fan, but like Megadeth, Metallica, Maiden, all had their heyday in the 80s too.
Yeah, I didn't get into Metallica. I'm not a metal guy. That's my problem. Is like, I started listening to Metallica when the Black Album came out. So like I learned
to like the rock.
Yeah, and I learned Master of Puppets kind of later. That's another one that's like same thing. Like I never know what speed to play Master of Puppets at, so I'm always playing it way too trying to play it way too fast and it sounds way too sloppy.
He down picks it all too, right?
Yeah.
And I guess like that's another big thing like for me that I would have taken out of bands in that era was James Hetfield's right hand technique. It's like
I would not be able to survive.
to be able to down pick. I mean, that's again like you're talking about playing real quick. But
Yeah.
I think it's more like. Oh man.
Yeah, I couldn't do that.
That whole right hand thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that it? I remember there's a bunch of cool changes in that song. Rust in Peace was definitely like a huge step in like the progressive direction for like that thrash sound. For sure. Like if you listen to like any of the deeper tracks, like Poison is the Cure on that album and stuff like that, like those riffs were absolutely new.
Yeah.
Like yeah, still.
I listened to Countdown to Extinction and Symphony of Destruction.
Same thing. Back into the rock. Back into the rock.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
then that was the end of my Megadeth. So
Yeah.
But
Dave Dimison also just sounds like he's like pissing razor blades out of his mouth when he sings.
Yes.
So it's like fucking.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a Dave Mustaine riff. Funny, I think. I don't know if it's that specific one, but he wrote a lot of Kill 'Em All.
That's about the I always screw up the wherever it goes at the end of it. Like, yeah, and then like
Oh man, yeah. Yeah. First three Metallica albums.
yeah.
Wake Up Dead, yeah. Oh man, Anthrax was the one that I never dug into enough.
Dude, the only Anthrax I know is Public Enemy with Anthrax. Fight the Power. I don't know any other Anthrax.
I know that Scott Ian has a sick beard.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty dope.
Yeah.
Yeah. Man, Iron Maiden too. The Trooper actually. Fuck, I don't even know if I remember now, but like the Trooper was. I remember I went to like a rock camp as a kid. Oh man, I totally haven't thought of this in years. My dad got me in like a summer camp. It was like a week-long thing at a university where they just put you in like a rock band thing. It was literally like School of Rock, but as a summer camp. And a bunch of the kids in the band I was with were all friends and wanted to do Iron Maiden, and I didn't know about Iron Maiden.
Yeah.
I'd never even heard them. They wanted to do the Trooper, and I listened to it. Was like, oh, sweet, okay. Like we could do this. There's solos. There's there's triplets. There's all the fun stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. I just skipped that whole phase, man. I was into I was way more into like Pearl Jam and Nirvana and Soundgarden back then. Mm-hmm. So yeah.
Yep.
Like I said, I probably started listening to way more Metallica, like obviously after the Black Album, but I probably started listening to that more as I got more into like Van Halen and older Van Halen, which took me till I was like 16.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Till I really started to get into, which I mean, that was in the mid-90s. I hate to say like in 96 when I started listening to way more early 80s stuff.
I feel like we went on the opposite path. Like I started with the really heavy stuff and then regressed back into like the more rock-based stuff as I got older. But yeah.
Well, and I just got stuck there. I just haven't left.
I stayed. I can play that.
I just set up camp. It's like this is where I belong.
Here for the long haul.
Yeah.
But just good songs, good songwriting. I definitely was much more about like like when I first heard Metallica. I was like, oh, they're playing fucking fast. I want to play fast.
Yeah.
Let's go. Like, being like a 13-year-old kid, you want to play fast, you want to shred.
Yeah.
It's like those kind of bands, I think, really spearheaded the pursuit of wanting to learn about that stuff. So, yeah. Crazy.
Yeah. I I wish I had learned to play faster back then because, like, honestly, I learned, you know, pentatonic, like minor pentatonic scales, blues scales, and like a bunch of major patterns. But
Rob says you need to get me into a solid Poison phase.
Yeah. Yeah.
Then we can hang out, right? That's what you're saying? Then we can chill.
Honestly, Rob did this video for us for the G3 when we were in Nashville for Summer Nam a couple of years ago. Mm-hmm. That, like, the riff is so based off of Unskinny Bop by Poison that, like, I will still sit and have that video play in my background now because it's awesome. Dude, I remember when, like, I remember when, like, Poison's Flesh and Blood and those records all came out. I was a huge fan.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Yeah.
Way more than I should be proud to admit, but yeah.
Yep. Nothing but a good time.
Yeah.
What was that?
Nothing. Like,
yeah. What did you just play?
I don't remember.
Oh, I recognized it.
I just
some cool. Speaking of Poison, how about some Alice Cooper? Alice Cooper fan?
Not a huge fan. Like, I liked I'm 18 and, like, School's Out and
classic tunes.
Yeah, all of the hits, but yeah, it. I mean,
I feel like like again, way before, but like I only really knew School's Out, and I thought it was a cool song. Never dug too much. Who's this guitar? Oh, I feel like an idiot for asking. Who's the guitarist again?
Oh man, Alice Cooper's had like the best of the best of Hired Guns. Like, yeah, he's like, his band is known to like cycle through like some of the best Hired Guns in, especially in like out of like Hollywood area. Like Jason Hook was with him for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who else? There was a couple that I feel like I should know, but anyway.
I don't know. Yeah. I'm sure our guys can look up who all cycled through like Alice Cooper's band as guitar players.
Yeah. Epic by Faith No More. I remember that growing up. Oh man, I'm gonna make like a great playlist.
Nita Strauss. Yeah.
Yeah, Nita's great. Yeah. Yeah. Man.
Oh, okay. Reb Beach. Yeah.
Reb Beach from Winger.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like I need to get into Winger. I feel like Winger has like a lot of 80s hype. But never like were as big as... I guess they're pretty big, weren't they?
I was never into them, but that doesn't mean that I don't know some of their songs if I hear them, right? Like,
I guess so.
I remember the first time I was working at like a classic rock festival. I was working as a stagehand, and Journey was playing. I was I'm like, Journey, my mom listens to Journey.
Yeah.
And my older brother Scott was with me, and he's like, you listen to Journey. And I'm like, no, dude, what? No, I don't. And he's like, yes, you do. And literally, as soon as they started playing, I was like, oh yeah, I know that song. And the next song, I'm like, oh yeah. And literally for like an hour and a half straight, I was like, I know every song they're playing. Like know it well enough that I can sing along to every one of these songs. I'm like, I actually love Journey. So, yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's another band that has some tunes from the 80s that we could have played, but that
Kane Roberts.
But I don't know how to play them. Is that for Sean?
I guess that was for you, Sean. Sorry, we were just literally talking about... Got it in the right spots.
Has anyone mentioned the Scorpions? No one has mentioned the Scorpions or AC/DC. Yeah, like Back in Black's got to be 80s, isn't it? Or is it 70s? 81? Yeah.
You're welcome, Sean. I guess, yeah.
Part of. Yeah. Dorian's laughing at us because he's like, both of you idiots are playing it wrong.
Yeah, are we? I don't know. Oh, I know it's this.
Yeah. Nice. Lonely Rocker asking about the Scorpions. Yeah, Rock You Like a Hurricane and Skid Row was the other one that we were talking about beforehand.
I don't know. I don't even know if I can remember the song, but I just remember I played that clean tone, and Dorian right away is like 18 to life.
Yeah.
I don't know the song at all.
Yeah.
But apparently that's the tone.
Yeah. We need Dorian to come up here and school us. He's laughing at everything that we're playing because he's like, I know how to play that, you retards. Come on.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Back in Black's 80s, yeah. I think another band where it's like, the bulk of that probably was 80s, but you don't think of that.
GNR, yeah. Alex, I wish I could play some GNR. I mean,
don't ask me to play Sweet Child of Mine, I won't do it.
Come on. You know how to do it.
I don't even know if I do off the top of my head.
Oh, come on. Yeah. I don't know how to play it.
It's funny, like in all the cover gigs and stuff, I've literally played it like twice.
Everything is just 3 chords, right?
God, don't play it. No! That's awesome. That's how I feel about it too. But sure enough, man, like every time we do it at like a cover gig, there's like the 3 dudes that are just raging out.
Dude,
like,
I would be.
like just giving her
Guns N'
so hard.
Roses.
Like like every time they've heard that song and give it just as hard.
How many times have you walked in the office when I'm listening to Guns here?
Oh, like, yeah, every day. Yeah. Yeah,
like,
absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Either that or like Alter Bridge.
Yeah.
It's
or Rise Against.
There's a few definitive eras. It's either 80s rock, current dad rock, or pop punk.
Yeah.
And that's basically it.
Although I was listening to the new Architects record after you told me, man, that Black Lungs tune.
It's so good.
So good.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. The whole record's amazing.
Yeah.
Man. Yeah.
I don't know who hates. Like I heard a bunch of people were hating on the new Architects because it's
not like it still sounds like Architects, but it's not like tech anymore. Like it's more of like a rock album, which is great. Like that's just gradually been the direction they've gone, and they really nailed it with that sound, especially after losing the main songwriter in their band. Like yeah, they killed it. It's an amazing record.
Yeah, dude,
yeah,
huge fan.
Yeah.
Yeah, Robbie, I agree. Like
yeah, it's massive, and it actually hit #1 in UK, Europe, and Australia overall.
That's awesome.
Overall charts, which for a band like that is like huge.
I was working like late last night and the night before here, and like normally I'll like put on like either a movie or some sort of TV show in the background and normally watch some sort of comedy or listen to some sort of comedy as I'm
going.
Yeah, put on like Chappelle's stand up or something like that. And I was like, man, no, I'm gonna listen to that Architects record again. And yeah, dude, it was killer.
Yeah. I think they nailed the sound that they've been building towards with that album. So
Andy, okay, favorite Rise Against song or album? Ooh.
Oh man, I'm like old school Rise Against, like Torches or like anything off of Revolutions Per Minute. Like I like old Rise Against when it was more like it's not to sound like that guy, but like more punky, you know? Like yeah, it's good.
I like newer Rise Against. Not really new. I mean, I don't mind the like Black Market or whatever that record was. Isn't it called the Black Market or something?
There's one that you listen to pretty often that I remember listening to as well, and it was a few albums after the one with Swing Life Away on it.
Yeah. It was, like off of Appeal to Reason or...
It might have been Appeal to Reason.
I would say... Honestly, I mean, you're probably going to think I'm a sap for this. I'd say Hero of War is in my opinion, their best tune.
It's a huge tune.
Because it's written unbelievably well.
Yeah.
Audience of One is like their catchiest.
Yeah.
Earworm. That's probably where I honestly heard of Rise Against that first, but...
I was going to say, like, the first song I ever heard was Torches, because when I first moved to Winnipeg, my dad had a friend whose kid was into the same music I was. We got together to jam. He's like, "Oh, we should learn this song," and I had never heard Rise Against. And I was like, "Oh, this is sweet! Like tons of cool riffs."
Yeah.
Yeah, like melodic punk stuff. Still like that sound a lot.
Who keeps a guitar tuned to a few cents off to play along with old Metallica?
Or like Pantera. Pantera tuned to 432.
Nice. Yeah. Appeal to Reason is awesome. What's the record rate? Is Endgame? Is the record rate after that?
Pretty sure Megadeth put out an album with that name the same year.
Yeah. Of course, I'm gonna like check Shopify. Shopify. I'm terrible.
Pantera. That's like 90,
that's awesome.
That's 91 though. I think was first. Well, not the first Pantera album, but like with Phil Anselmo, where they became like the Pantera that people know. Like I don't think people like a lot of people who are like old school Pantera fans know, but like if people don't, they have like a few glam metal albums out with Terry Glaze singing.
Right.
And it's like totally different vibes, and it was like Diamond Daryl instead of Dimebag Daryl. And then they discovered weed and drugs and got all hard. So
so play some Metallica.
Oh man, I forgot it. Great riffs, man. That album just turned 35, 40. Huh? What year was that out? 86. So it would have been 35 this year. Master Puppets, yeah, 35 years ago.
That's insane.
Yeah,
like
that's crazy. Yeah, it would have been 86.
I don't think I can play that intro part. I
Yeah.
can. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little fast.
Yeah.
But I feel like even then I was doing like down, down, up. You know,
Yeah,
like
that's
down.
the only way I can do it. Oh no, I can't even do that.
But I feel like he like legit. Ah.
Oh, the best I can play it is. That's the best I can play.
It's such a tight technique, yeah. Oh man, his right hand just. What was it? Oh, I can't even remember it.
Yeah, down strokes.
Blackened. I don't even remember it. That album has some killer riffs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no way I can do any of that with downstrokes. Like.
That again. It's really good. I feel like Metallica is one of those bands that I just like stopped listening to because they're like. I feel bad saying it's like an entry level band because it's not, because they did so much and like there's a lot more to their music than that. But they're like a band that you get introduced to the type of music with them, and I feel like for that reason I stopped listening as much as I should. And then even just thinking about this now, it's like, oh man, I gotta go back. There's like a ton of great shit on all those albums. Like, yeah, even to today's standard. Motorhead, yep.
Yeah. We know what riff we all want to hear. What's that, Rob? What's the riff you want to hear?
Go for a soda.
I already played it, Rob.
You missed it.
You missed it, dude.
He's only allowed one per stream, and it happened.
There you go. And then like it's got that. Yeah,
Kyle didn't
sorry.
hear it. It doesn't count.
What's that?
He's a Kyle didn't.
Yeah.
I just realized I've had the chorus turned on the whole time.
Yeah. That sounds about right. Money for Nothing. Oh, dude. Sylvie, I don't know how to play Money for Nothing. So, do you know how to play Money for Nothing?
Mm.
It's like, it's in that, like, I'm gonna screw it up. I'm not even bother. So, the only Bon Jovi I know, I used to know like the intro to the.
Only ever had to play like Living on a Prayer.
Yeah, that's like
Yeah,
Living Color.
The Trooper.
Man.
Or another one. Is that it?
I don't know, man. I know like no Iron Maiden.
I think. That's probably an Iron Maiden song.
Yeah, just galloping. Andy, you ever hang with Phil X? Yes. Yeah, Phil's close friends with a mutual friend. Like, we have a mutual friend together that he played on a bunch of 1,000 Foot Crutches records, and Trevor and I are good friends, and that's why I originally met Phil from, and I hung out with him at an event, actually with Rob Baker in Germany called GetCon years ago. That was a ton of fun. That dude is insane, not just as a guitar player, but as a person. He is in his 50s, and I have never met anybody with as much energy as Phil X. Like,
Yeah,
he
I've heard
is
that.
crazy. And, like, he absolutely strangles the neck of his guitar when he plays. Like, it is...
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He's giving her. True
Yeah.
definition of giving her.
Yeah.
All the time.
And like, the dude's in his 50s.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Like, I'm 40 and I can't fathom having the amount of energy that Phil X has now. Never mind.
Like, in general.
Yeah. Crazy good guitar player. And a good dude. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, he played on TFK. I don't think he played on Phenomenon, but he might have. I'm not sure. He definitely played on a lot of the records after that. I think Aaron Sprinkle may have played on Phenomenon, or it might have been Phil X. I don't know. I know Aaron produced that record. So.
Cool.
Yeah. So.
He sends it, bud.
Yeah.
Yeah, you bet he
Just
does.
send her,
right?
bud.
Yeah, he friggin' gives her.
I can bend on this one. It works, right? Like.
Yeah, you just can't do it with a trem because then it pulls
Yeah.
it down.
You can. You just got to go far enough. Got any rush? Reed, just leave now.
Oh, come on. Musically, I like Rush.
Well,
I actually do like Rush a lot. I hate Rush.
really? I thought we were friends.
I mean, I don't have to like Geddy Lee's voice to like Rush.
Yeah. I'm just teasing, but like, yeah, I can't stand Geddy Lee's voice, so
Yeah. Great, amazing songwriters, though.
yeah. Yeah. Sorry, I just can't
No,
do it.
dude, I will disagree with that. Like, I like Rush a lot. I just don't know how to play any other stuff. So, but they were also like pretty prominent in the '70s, weren't they? Like, I don't know.
I'm not in a rush, dude.
Right.
Take
Dorian.
a poll. Yeah, Dorian.
I think it was the '70s. Yeah.
Rush, yay or nay?
There he is.
Alex. Oh. Yeah,
Alex is making gestures. We don't know what he's saying.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Jam one of your favorite, or your fave.
Play. One of your faves.
What do you want me to play?
Oh, whatever. What's your favorite right now?
I really like the G chord. If it's favorite 80s stuff, like, honestly, yeah. I love that Go for a Soda riff.
Yeah.
And I also, Yeah. Loverboy. Yeah. If I knew how to play any, I absolutely would. Any Canadian 80s music is like my favorite thing in the world.
Yeah.
Like
Street Hard.
Yeah, Street.
My dad played with them for like 10 years.
Yeah.
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 That's funny.
Loverboy. Like, I like any of the like straightforward like blues dad hard rock stuff, right? Like the
make a band called Blues Dad.
Yeah. Are you gonna play it an octave higher, like Baker says we should?
So 1, 2, 3, 4. It starts from the end. So 1, 2, 3, 4. It starts on the end. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Anything that you can, Exactly. We both had the exact same idea. Even Bryan Adams. Yeah, man. I love Bryan Adams. I don't know enough. I always mess up the... I mess up the... I don't know what the timing is on it, but like... You know what I'm talking about, right? Bryan Adams, Bryan Adams, Tina Turner, probably.
I think it was
Heart. Wherever it is, yeah.
And also, if you spread it up, it could be Iron Maiden too.
Yeah, exactly. Has anybody said Tragically Hip yet? No, I know. Like, if you're talking about like Canadian stuff, I guess that's 80s too. So like, I knew Barracuda was in the 70s.
Was it really? Oh, damn.
70s. Yeah. So like, I know like the. Were you ever into the Tragically Hip?
I wasn't gonna say anything.
I'm not a big Hip fan either.
No, I'm not a big Hip fan or Smashing Pumpkins fan.
There's yeah, you know what? There's like 3 decent Smashing Pumpkins songs in my opinion. The rest of it, I shouldn't say that. There's only 3 that I was like. I liked Siamese Dream, and then I liked Bullet with Butterfly Wings when it came out, and that was the pretty much the extent of it. I have a buddy that is like a hardcore, like his favorite band is the Smashing Pumpkins, and I don't get it, but like nothing against the Smashing Pumpkins, but I saw them, Alex, it was called Somersault, right? When we were at it, I saw them at Somersault, and I literally fell asleep during Smashing Pumpkins. I was bored.
I can't do
so, other than that,
Rob, what's up? That's my old next door neighbor from Halifax. That's awesome. Twisted Sister, the Price.
Nice.
Twisted Sister's awesome. We have the is it the Satchel pedal? No, we have the never mind, it's not Twisted Sister. We have the
Steel Panther.
Steel Panther. Same shit. The Steel Panther pedal here.
I've
awesome.
never been able to stand anything Tragically Hip, and I've been raked over the coals since. You know what?
No, I get it. I get that.
Do you know what though? There are some really good songs from the hit. They're just to me not like the most popular songs, and pretty much anything after Day for Night, I didn't like Gord Downey's vocals. Like I just didn't like his vocal style. Same thing with Rush, right? Like you talk about like music in Rush is great, but man, is it Fully Completely is the name of the album? Yeah, I like the Fully Completely album a lot. Up to Here has some good songs, but there's Fiddler's Green is like kind of like a more ballady sounding tune off of Road Apples. That's a great song. Yeah. And off of Day for Night, like I like the like Grace 2 and all of those tunes. Yeah, it's great. Quentin James, can we say hello to your little bird, Emmett? Hey, Emmett, how's it going,
Hey,
man?
Emmett, how's it going, dude? Hello. He digs rev amps. We're glad to hear he does. Thanks for digging it, Emmett.
Yeah, dude, Robert Baker. So there's a Robert Baker from the Tragically Hip. I remember, like, our Robert Baker telling it
Oh,
about the
yeah,
fact that,
yeah,
like,
he gets
gets
messages.
messages about them. Yeah, that's
People
awesome.
thinking it's him. That's amazing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dream Theater.
I don't know any Dream Theater.
Oh, no. I was, you know what, man? I can't, like, as amazing as they are, I can't deal with James LaBrie. I dig, Sean's is my brother Scott used to say, I dig Rush of Witchy Poo didn't sing along.
So.
That's amazing.
No,
And you try playing keys with your feet and playing bass and singing at the same time, dude.
I do not know how to play any
Michael-
England Suite. I don't know how to play any Triumph. Although I'm sure at one point I probably learned how to play like Lay It on the Line or something like that, like back in the day. But
Alex, you just commented Michelangelo Badio. Do you remember when he did Shredfest at Quest?
dude,
I
I
mean,
remember that.
he did his double neck thing. Oh
Yeah.
man, that was wild.
So good.
Yeah, at the Garrick. I remember that.
I was there for that too,
That
man.
was the year that I won.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah,
Dude, you were wearing like a toque with like long hair. And,
long
like,
ass hair.
Yeah.
My Ibanez SA.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You look so different.
Fixed
than
bridge
now.
Ibanez. Yeah.
What's up, Guitar Man 45?
What is up?
Man, this has morphed from 80s to just talking about Canadian bands, like in a
Yeah.
hurry.
Totally. There were a lot of good bands in that era. You know?
Oh yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I remember. I got to work so many classic rock shows when I was like, I'd have been like early 20s, and like working classic rock shows in Manitoba. You know,
Oh,
you're
yeah.
getting nothing but like every year you're getting one half of the like 70s and 80s bands from Canada, and then the
Yeah.
next year it's the other half.
Yeah.
And
literally. Yeah.
yeah.
That's exactly it.
Like you see April Wine and you see like the Northern Pikes and like
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. 100%.
like She Ain't Pretty and yeah, just killer
you
bar
guys,
tunes.
You guys know. It's funny.
Ronnie went to Shredfest that year. Ronnie, were you like 3?
Ronnie and I are close to the same age, I think.
Are you?
Yeah.
I always think you're older.
I might be a year older than Ronnie, I think.
I always think that you're older because I always forget that you're way younger than me.
Yes.
Yeah,
I guess so.
mostly because I don't act my age at all.
No. You get on with my friends fine.
Yeah.
We good. Yeah.
Was T-Rex Canadian? I think T-Rex was Canadian, but I'm not 100% sure.
There were dinosaurs
British,
in
oh.
Canada. You're British? Yeah. In it. Edge, what's up, man?
Yeah. So, what else is going on?
Yeah.
What else do you know about the 80s, Sam?
That I was not conceived yet.
Yeah, I think Bo is right. Like, next time I'll wear some glam clothes and you gotta wear, like, spandex with, like,
no.
streamers and all sorts of scarves and other
Get it.
things hanging off you. Like, come out here looking like the Ultimate Warrior.
Oh, Rob, no problem, man. It's crazy to see you tuning into this. That's awesome. I'll have to get in touch. I appreciate you following what we're doing here. That's awesome. Kind of same thing here, though. Like for me, again, even though I wasn't really like, I guess for me, this is just throwing back to a lot of the music that I first heard when I was like becoming interested in guitar.
Yeah.
You know, like and why those sounds influenced it, and why that was just such an important time. Like that was, I think, like a time when people were really like going to the max, and we talked about that with Tones too. It's like everything was just so over the top and so huge, and it was cool.
Dude,
It was unique.
CC DeVille was the reason that I wanted to pick up a guitar. Like, I was such a huge Poison fan in, like, the late 80s and early 90s. And, I mean, I turned 10 in 1990. So,
I was
like,
-2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sammy was not quite a twinkle in his dad's eye. Yeah, so, like, I remember, like, seeing CC DeVille. And actually, like, when we were talking about, like, the Gretsch 6120s, like the reason that I want a 6120 is from seeing CC DeVille play one.
Totally.
And like, yeah, so that music has always been like near and dear to me. Plus I'm still mostly stuck in the 80s and 90s.
As you said, you stayed.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I set up camp and was like, yeah, I'm good here.
Yeah, I'm good to go.
Yeah.
I like this. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Yep.
somebody asking about rack mount preamp. No rack mount preamps coming anytime soon. The Cult.
Wait, did we comment that?
No, Dorian. No. No.
I was like, wait, we didn't write that. Who's being us?
Yeah.
What else are we talking about? Ragmount
Yeah.
Pre. Sorry, thank you. Thanks.
Yeah.
Ragmount preamp.
No.
I don't know if
No
we're doing
plans.
that. No plans for that. The pedals you can use as a preamp, and they work great. So,
Yeah.
yeah. Cool.
Well,
Time to hit the old dusty.
it's going to be that time.
Yeah.
Head on down the road.
We're old, though.
Because in true live stream fashion, our pizza is here. So
Not only that, but we got to be back
Yes.
tomorrow
Yeah.
and work on all
Oh.
your amps and stuff. So.
yeah, I am definitely disappointed that neither one of us came up or played a Def Leppard riff though for the 80s.
Yeah, I guess
There's
so, eh?
no way.
How do we not do that?
Well, number one, I would need to figure out how to use these effects to be able to sound like Phil Collins.
Yeah.
And like, yeah.
Phil Collins. Is it Phil Collin or Collins?
I don't know.
Phil Collins is like
In the Air
Phil
Tonight?
Collins. Yeah, Genesis. Dude, Tarzan. Tarzan soundtrack's legendary. It's so good.
Dude, I can't say anything. For the longest time, my Spotify playlist had like Susu Studio and like so many like Phil Collins and
Yeah,
Genesis
great
songs.
production.
Yeah,
Another good example of that sound.
yeah,
Cool. It is Colin. Thank you, Art.
yeah. All right. Well, anybody else have any other questions for us before we go about, gear or anything else? Because we're not going to be able to play any of the songs you guys request at this point anyway, because we don't know any of them. So
We played the ones that we knew.
Exactly. Unless you want to hear us play Nothing But a Good Time one more time.
Unless you want to hear Derek put on every phaser setting he has
Yeah.
and play.
I don't know how to do that though. I could turn on the one that I know. Like
That's it.
the worst pick straight. Not a question. You want to see the 120 with 212?
We don't
Yeah.
have any cabs in here. Just because of the setup we have, we actually don't have any cabs set up in here right now. But if you want to reach out, I could definitely get you some images of a 120 with a cab.
I think
for
he
sure.
wants to hear it.
Oh, it's
Andy was emailing me earlier too.
Oh yeah.
So
Cool. Logistically, because we're talking, it would be tough, but maybe we could figure out some way to do something like that. Put a cabinet outside.
yeah, you know what? Give us some time to figure that out. We'll try to figure out how to do. Hey, tech guys, Alex, Dorian, we need to figure out how to mic up a cabinet sometime. Is the PRS the one that I'm playing? Frank is a Tremonti 1.
Yeah.
I do have an SC 250 behind me though. So
Ed, use a particular brand of tubes. We right now are using JJ's as preamp tubes, and I believe TAD. Yeah, TAD and JJ are kind of the go-tos that we have right now.
yeah,
Yeah, and they've both been great.
we prefer any of the like Shugoang tubes, like yeah. So Tad tubes if we can, but honestly, Tube Supply
It's been a weird one for sure.
It's been, especially during the pandemic, because everyone's been so busy, and there's been restrictions on how much factories end up being able to produce. It's been a challenge.
Yeah, specifically with tubes and a couple other components.
Yeah. Rob Baker asked to see the more phaser in the mix. I'll give you a little more phaser in the mix in a second. Anybody else have any other questions before I do that? Frank, yeah, SC250s are rare, and the one that I have is it's actually a solid, like a single piece quilt top. You probably can't see it very well, but it's the first PRS I bought, and it is absolutely, you can't see it very well, but
Kind of, sort of.
it's absolutely gorgeous. It's no, sorry.
It's funny you say Nuno Betancourt's considered one of the most underrated guitar players. I absolutely would say that Nuno is my favorite guitar player of that era, and I think he is extremely underrated. So I will agree with you on that. Nuno is my go-to for that style.
Awesome. AT, you ordered a Gen 120 from Sweetwater. Man, thank you so much. That's awesome.
Sweet.
They have a few that should be going out of here probably next week. I don't know if yours is in that, but I think there's more.
Yeah, we have a batch that's going on the next couple. A couple shipments going out to Sweetwater in the next little bit. So there's a good chance your amp is on there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Rob asked for a bit more phaser, so that's what you're going to hear as we go bye-bye. Let me see if I can't
Oh yeah, there we go. Okay.
All right. Thanks, guys. See you next time.
Good one, guys. Thanks for tuning in. And we're back. And we're gone. Goodbye.